Perfect. Okay. Well, Bill, how's it going? Did you have a good holiday?
Lay down.
Did great. Thanks. How about yours?
Yeah, it was good. Good. Just hanging out.
Had all of the fam over, so it was really good.
Yeah, no, that's always the best part, especially if you got little kids that can go crazy about things. We had one kid, he every present he opened, it was like he was getting $1 million. It was awesome. It was awesome. So, yeah. So, okay. Well, hopefully some more people get on. If not, well, it's their loss, I guess, huh? No. Does anybody, so do you guys have any questions about anything? Is there anything that's on your mind that I can help you with, or can we go into something that I can help you with?
I don't have anything off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Maybe something will come up along the way.
Okay, cool. So I want to basically help you look forward into the next year. I know that's always a topic about this time of year, but I think that there's some simple things that can start happening that are going to drastically change your next year, because the goal each year for me is just to get a little bit better each year, right? Or a lot better if I can. But if I can, for the rest of my life, if I can improve by 1% in any area each year, then it'll be good, because if I can improve any area of my life in the next 10 years by 10% in each area, that's pretty dramatic. So um I'm going to talk a little bit about what that is. I also want to talk to you about what I'm going to be doing in 2024 to reach my goals. And so, I'm going to be changing some things up. There's going to be some more stuff that's coming in terms of, um, product and thing like that. I'm also going to be removing a lot of things and simplifying a lot of things. So I'll be talking about that as well. What's up, Brad? How you doing? Um, did Yeah. Did you have any questions or anything that I can go over with you or that I can help you with?
Not right now. I'm just trying to set up my Google Drive, all the folders and all that. That's it's actually raining here today, which is unusual because we're 33 inches under for the year. So
Oh,
I've got
wow.
a free day to get some of this stuff done. So
Yeah, well, good. That's
that's where
that's
I am.
good. Yeah, got it. Okay. Well, anything you need, I'm here. Um, so I'm just going to be going over, like I said, what I've got in store. It's not set completely in stone. I still have some organizing to do and some different things that I'm going to do. And I don't want this to like alarm you or anything like that. I'm just going to show you some of the things that I've got on my mind about what I'm going to be doing and how that's going to be working. So let me get that pulled up. Mhm. Is there any certain requests that you guys have inside of the community, or anything that you guys would want to change? Let me see. I put it over here. Go.
So, Mike, I got my first complaint that I didn't have enough of the foundational learnings videos done, and someone called me unprofessional or whatever. But I just
Yeah.
added a few more. So, but yeah,
Yeah, that
I got
happens, dude. I mean, I've had it. I've had all kinds of things said, It's don't take it, pay attention to it, but it's not like you're doing something. Usually when that happens, what I find is there wasn't enough uh expectations set in the beginning. I make it very apparent so that they're not coming in there going, "Oh, I thought there was all this stuff." So this is, I mean, I want you to know that this isn't some like idea that I have that I'm like, hey, you should do it this way because, I don't know, I think it would be cool. Like, you can look this up. I think there's probably a Wikipedia on it. Um, this, when you build something, you don't build it ahead of time, right? You don't build it ahead of time. It's no different than an architect or anything else. It's not, this isn't the way it's built, but people don't understand that. They sometimes what people will do is, now if I buy a pair of golf clubs and they come to me and the handles are missing and the head's twisted the wrong way or it's not stuck on it yet, that's different. That's not the same thing as what we're building here. Okay. But if we're building something that is like well, like a bridge, if you go build a bridge, you first want to get the contracts. You want to make sure that the blueprints are, everybody understands the blueprints and what's coming and what's going to be built, and then it gets built, and there's adjustments along the way. And that's any software that you'll ever see is built this way. I got on I'm in high level right now, and they are every day. It's like, I want to send 50, like, you should fix this here, like every day. And like, if you go to look at their like reports and stuff, it's like every day people are like, but it's like, that's what it is. You can't build that thing ahead of time. And the course is no different. Even if you know everything that they need to know, you can lay out the hypothesis, the blueprint, the steps that are necessary. But as people come into it, things change, and people learn and are programmed. Think about a child being born today. Their programming compared to somebody that was born when you were born, the programming that they get versus the programming you got when is completely different. Now, yeah, there's the typical things like, save your pennies and all that stuff. That kind of stuff kind of lives on. But in terms of how they're learning, I mean, I've like my son's friends, they're 19, 18 in there. I can barely understand what the hell they're saying in text messages because it's all like abbreviated, and it's like I can't even communicate damn near anymore, right? And I'm only 38 years old. I'm like, holy shit, this is crazy. It'll be another language by time, So I'm just saying, it's just an expectation thing. That's all it really is. It's just make sure that the expectations are set and you set them with confidence, even if you don't have any. This is the you have to, the confidence that you have to have doesn't mean that you're a confident alpha male. That's not what it is. It's just knowing that I'm going to do it. That's typically all it is. When it comes to confidence, like, it's just saying, I know I'm going to do it. That's it. In anything. If I go play a game I've never played or anything, if my intention is to win and I know I'm going to figure it out, I may not win, but I know I'm going to do it and I'm going to go all the way through. That is what sets confidence up. It's a simple thing, So just give them that and make sure that each day, this is where I love sending a daily video or having, a pocket coaching style type thing, or doing like a daily gravity like I did. Just anything where you're giving them something each day while you're building. It's like, yeah, I know your house isn't built yet, sir, but we go each day, I'll pay for your hotel until it's done, kind of thing. It's like that in our world is, here's a video each day to keep you in line. Even if it's a 1 minute, hey guys, here's how I typically set up a landing page. Or, hey guys, here's how I usually, if I'm chipping out of a bunker or something like that, here's one thing that I always pay attention to when I do that, until the whole thing is built. And then then it's great too, because it allows you to ask those needed questions to engineer. Hey, yeah, we're trying to build this bridge, but it'd be nice if we had like a welder with an extra 10 inches on the end of it so we could get up by the things. Oh, okay. You never know. Like every design, it sets up something different, right? I mean, if you actually knew the amount of design that goes into even something like this, it's radical, right? Like people that are actually doing things that matter. Okay. So be sure that when you're doing that, it's all about it's communication. It's communication. Okay. It's setting that tone and letting them know. I'm going to pull up here. Anybody has any questions at any time, please Let me pull this up. Do I still have it up? Maybe I still have it up. One of the things on my list is to clear and clean out. This is what I'm dealing with right now is called tech debt. It's where you have you don't have you have too many folders, or you have too many things that could hold the folder, which this is actually ridiculous because I just put this in here last night. Okay. Oh, here we go. I love when you find something, it's like, oh, it's right where I put it. Again, what I'm about to share with you is not completely set in stone. Okay. So there could be things that change here. So don't go freaking out. Okay. Oh, we've got somebody trying to come in here. Oh, Burton. All right, cool. Okay. So
I'm gonna switch over the computer, Mike. So
yeah,
let me in.
okay, cool. Okay, cool. Yeah. Yep, I'm watching. Okay, so I'm gonna be switching things up, and my homies here that are already in Build Lab, you guys are already privy to some of this. So what I want to do is I'm going to be simplifying things down, because throughout last year I went through and the last like 3 days and over Christmas, while everybody was, hanging out and doing whatever, my brain never lets me do that. But this isn't working to me. This is like, we're building something. This is fun. So, and I just, what am I supposed to do? So I'm thinking through and I'm looking through, and I did a lot of like research that I do. And I talked with AI and I worked with a bunch of things to come to the realization that people don't need a bunch of, and I think about my own self, people don't need a bunch of options. They don't need a bunch of stuff. What they need is they need the exact laser guided steps. And then from there, you have things like this, where you fill in where they're missing the beat on a certain thing. And one thing that I noticed in Build Lab and in any of the other communities or anything that I've always done, the biggest problem that I see, and this is a very, core thing, is you want everybody, you want everybody on the same track. Okay, whether we can just call it a race track or a train track, or a path in the woods. You want everybody on that same thing, because when it comes to these calls, when you go to help them or reference back to them, hello Burton, hello Captain, hello everybody. Okay, if you have questions, please interrupt me and ask your question. Okay. The thing that what I'm sharing now, if you're just joining, is I'm talking about what's changing in 2024. This is not certain. Okay. It's pretty certain, but it's not certain. Okay. I'll let you guys will have the certainness of it. But what you want is everybody that's on the same track, everybody's going through the same path. You want that to stay and be very the same, because when it comes to helping them and working through it, you want to be able to do two things. Number one, you want to know exactly what they're talking about. If you have too many things going on, you can't pinpoint where they're at, and then the actual ability to use the scientific method and unravel it becomes a very difficult thing to do, and then it delays things, and then they don't get the answer, and then they quit, or the value just falls away. The second thing is you want to be able to reference them too. So if somebody's going and learning something, trying to get from point A to point B, and they're trying to get there, and it's, they don't know what to do, they whatever, and you can't reference them back to a training module that covers that, then this becomes a problem. Because then what happens is it becomes a time for dollars thing, where you're constantly having to take care of it right then and there, instead of being able to have a system in place where they can go grab it from, hey, great question. That's in pillar 3, module 2, about 4 minutes into it. Just go there, watch that again. If you still have troubles, come back to the call or hit me up in the group or whatever. All right. You want to have that, because if everybody's on the same page, then you can troubleshoot better. You can get people answers better, and it makes your life easier. And we've got to integrate systems with this. Okay.
Hey,
So-
Mike, I got a question on that.
Yes.
As far as like content is like, when is it like too much material in a digestible, when people just kind of go, oh, I'm a little overwhelmed? Because I mean, it's almost like you want somebody to be a consumer to be able to come back and go, I want to use this. And once they have success, they're more likely to continue to the next step, like a quick win. What's kind of your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so you want to integrate quick wins as quickly as possible. Number one, just because that's going to see the faster. If somebody gives you $100, the faster you can get their $100 back to them, the better. Because then they're like, this was worth my time. This was worth my money. You want that to happen. Whatever you can do immediately, make that the first step. The second thing that you can do is, when it comes to overwhelm and overload, understand something, that is a requirement. Because if you're not overwhelmed and you're not overloaded, that means they're not learning. When we talk about learning something new, humans are patternistic. We are very patternistic in routine. And if we don't have our routine, we call it chaos. And it's not actually chaos. The whole entire system of the universe is built on chaos and entropy. So radical movement, nothing, right? So when somebody comes in and says they're overwhelmed, this is good in one aspect, and I'll show you how to deal with this and how much is too much. But it's actually good, because what that means is they're introduced to something that is new material. They're also introduced to something where they're actually learning, and you're stretching them out of their comfort zone. So this is a good thing. When I hear that, I used to think, oh shit, I gotta get, no. Anytime you go to learn something new, there is going to be chaos or entropy. Entropy means nothing. If you don't have chaos or overwhelm, then there's nothing happening, and this is a bad sign. So the fact that you would be getting overwhelm or overload is a good sign. Okay, there's action, there's activity, there's new, there's learning. This is something you want to make sure that they understand going into it. This is why having like a getting started or having an intro module where it's like, now you're going to feel overwhelmed, and this is an okay thing. That means you're learning something. You basically explain what I just explained. Some people call it yin yang. Some people call it, nothing or everything, like all or none. Everything is this way. The light's either on or off, right? So there's not too much, and you can't do too much. So like, for instance, in Build Lab, we've got the 9 pillars or whatever. If I uploaded 1,000 videos that were in reference and additionalizing and going deeper into, say, pillar 1, I couldn't do enough. So that's what's great about having your track to run on. If you've got let's say, I'm just for simpleness here, let's say that your program is 10 videos. Okay, so we'll call it 10 steps. Regardless of what the steps are, let's say for each of the steps, let's say you added an extra 10 support videos for each step. You can't do too many support videos for each step. The key thing is, do you have the core steps? Once you have the core steps, it's like in basketball, if one of the steps was, or let's use golf, okay? If one of the steps is how to step 3 is how to putt, okay? It's the foundation, the fundamentals of putting, right? If he created 10 more videos that he added to step 3 about, here's 10 other ways to help you putt even better, but it's all around putting, which is step 3. You can't do too much. So when you hear overwhelm and when you hear overload, if that's what you're hearing, you need to, number one, make sure that they understand that that's actually a good thing, because there's either overwhelm or nothing. This is just physics. Seriously. When I hear people say, oh, no, I'm like, you're not doing anything, because you're either doing nothing or you're doing something. And if you're doing something and there's no pressure there, you're not expanding, you're not growing, you're not pushing the envelope. That doesn't mean maxing out. That means you're not stretching, you're not growing, you're not progressing. You're either progressing or you're either progressing, you're either going up or down. There's no middle. So if you think you're just waiting or in the middle, that's you're in Illusionville. Okay? There is none of that. There's no middle. It's either up or down. You're doing one or the other. If I don't feel uncomfortable, I know nothing is happening. I feel uncomfortable every day in this conversation right now. That's how I know. Most people run from that feeling, and most people don't make a lot of money or have a lot of free time. So overwhelm's not bad. You can't, now if you're adding a bunch of just random shit that is not dedicated towards a specific track that you have them running on, that can be a problem. If you're just adding things because it's the sake of, oh, I think it'll be valuable if I just add this, it has to fit within parameters. I have 3 core parameters that I always post in. No matter whatever I post in, the first question I ask myself, is this about attraction, conversion, or delivery? Which one? And then I go into that, and that's where it lives. You need to have, what is yours, right? So, inside a Build Lab, remember I've got it set up where it's like 9 steps and there's 3 core pillars. And then, that everything lives within the 3 core pillars of attract, convert, deliver. So, how much, and if it's only from one person too, by the way, then you need to just, okay, what is overwhelming? What is too much, ask that. Where are you getting that inside of your program?
No, it's more kind of the experience that I went through, or have been going through. And I think even that is just personally asking, you get into a lot of that self-doubt, the shiny object syndrome, just your limitations. And then I think that was really good you brought up on the point of the entropy. You're that middle road is, are you really, you think you're learning, but you're not, because maybe up here you're like, okay, I'm sucking in all this information, but you're down here at the bottom, you're supposed to be applying it. So you're just like absorb, but you're not coming down here and applying. So
yeah. So one thing that you can get, and you have to teach yourself, your body doesn't want to do anything besides food, water, sleep. Mm-hmm. Everything else, we're a strange ass creature. Cats aren't like, man, shit, I should build a car. We are a different thing, right? So, but whatever your beliefs are, these are mine, I suppose. You take them or leave them. But my thing is in my world, I'm an animal. And I am an animal that has urges like any other animal. I can just remember things. So, and I can justify them, whatever that modality is or that thing that's going on. Okay. So to me, I know that my body wants to find the least path of resistance, and it wants to just survive. Food, water, sleep. Everything outside of that, I realize, is going to take a bunch of any kind of anything that's going to help me get through that that sensation of wanting to do nothing. And the best way to get out of that is to fall into patterns and systems, because at least you can train into that. You have like systems to follow. Whenever you learn something, for me, when I learn something, now I wasn't always this way, but I've trained myself to get this way, because when I do this way, I get I get a reward for it. I get a dopamine rush. Okay. So, and we're trained by this, this dopamine gets us motivated to do things. It's a motivation thing. Whenever I learn something, I just go try to do it. Like if whenever I take a course or something, I watch myself do this. Like if I learn something about funnels, I'll go build one right away. If I learn something about a landing page, I just go build it right away. I may F the whole thing up. I may not make it work. If I hired Brad to teach me how to hit the driver and he taught me, I would do it over and over. I would just do it right away, because I've learned the faster I can get the information and apply it, it seats it into my brain, and it gives I can start burning into my CD-ROM. Like I can start getting a pathway built into there, and I will start developing a pattern. And that feeling that you might have where you're not doing something, or that feeling where there's shiny object syndrome, what I've learned with my own crazy attention span and, urges and everything that I go through myself, is if you don't know where you're going, then every road is an option. If you don't know where you're trying to get to, you will never. How can you get somewhere if you don't know where you're going? It's like, and the more clear you have it, the easier your confidence changes, the easier you don't have shiny object syndrome. So in other words, if I say, yeah, I live on, Pineapple Street, well, you're still probably not going to find my house. But if I give you the actual house details, like, 1401 Pineapple Court in, La Crosse, Arizona, whatever zip code, then you can put the coordinates in and you can get there. How you get there, you could ride a bike, you can walk, you can jump, you can whatever. It doesn't matter. The vehicle you choose to get there is going to get you there faster or slower, easier or harder, period. You got to have a destination. And most people that don't do anything, most people that have shiny object syndrome, they don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're trying to achieve. They don't have the North Star. And that's when I hear that, when I hear shiny object, when I hear entropy, I just ask myself now, I say, well, they're not aiming, they don't have a target. They don't know what they're actually trying to achieve. And the best way to do this, because it's really hard to think 10 years out, it's really hard to think about anything, frankly. What I do, what helped me, is you have to design your perfect day. I don't think about like, oh, in 10 years, I want this house, I do think of those things because I have a lot of desires. I think it's important to have that, I want a lot of things. I don't need anything, but I want a lot of things. I want the full experience before my little machine shuts off. Okay. So I want that. Good, bad, or indifferent, I'm that person. It also drives me. Okay. Most of the things I want are materialistic. Most of the things I want are not necessary. I just want them. Okay. I'm like a little kid. Having that said, though, I have a lot of motivation. It keeps me moving. Right. And so when I get into this situation, I could think about, oh, I want this car. I want to go here. I want this. I want this. It's easy to like, But if I think about my day, this is where I am every moment. And so I'm like, what do I want my perfect day to look like? And the best exercise for this is to literally get a clock, an empty clock, print it off, draw a picture. I don't care. but get an empty circle and carve out what part of that clock do you want to be working? Because you're going to have to work. Unless you're rich unless you have escape velocity already, where you've got more money than you'll ever be able to get rid of, or anything you've got, I don't know, you're going to have to work some way, shape, or form. Work doesn't mean pain. That's why you got to find something you enjoy talking about, looking at. What times do you want to be working? And in those working times, what type of work do you want to be doing? That needs to be understood. Then you're like, well, I don't know. Okay, well, let's go ahead of that. And the way you know what kind of work you're going to be doing or when you're going to be doing it is determined on the actual outcome of what you want. So what do you want, right? I just use money because it's the best measurement. And for most things, it ranks, as Zig Ziglar said, it ranks right up there with oxygen. Okay. Like without it, life's pretty tough. Okay. So I just use money as a control because I can measure it and it unlocks most doors, right? So how much money do you actually want to make or need to make to live the way you want to live? Okay. Write that number down. And then it's not something that's going to be motivating you to get up and push through the hard times. That's not what this is about. It allows you to make choices to not go after shiny objects because you're like, why would I go buy a gold pickaxe? I don't need that to get to where I'm going. Why would I buy this fancy software or do this system like this or do this type of thing like this? That's not what I need to get to this number. That's not what I need to get to this outcome. So you want to write down a number and then you work backwards. You're like, okay, to get this number, I have to sell this many units of whatever. Okay. In order to sell this many units, I have to have this many leads. Okay. How many leads can I get doing this type of process for this amount of time? Well, if let's just say you were going to go live each day and you had your funnel set up properly and you had your message in your funnel proper and you had a good offer, if you go live for an hour, and you may be a lot better than I, but when I go live for an hour, if I'm, using the right messaging that matches my funnel and I'm having an offer that appeals to people, I can pull anywhere from 20 to 50 leads every live that I do. I know that for every, 1,000 leads, I'm going to convert 1 to 5%. I always work off the 1% side, just so I'm not overshooting, right? So I'm like, okay, well, if I want to sell this many units of this thing, then I need to generate this many leads. Well, if I go live for an hour, I can assume or predict or have a hypothesis around the idea of, okay, let's just call it 20 leads just to, play on the low side. If it's all right, well, so I need to go live for this many hours to get this many leads. Well, okay, what else can I do to supplement that? Well, if I post at least 3 times a day on a platform, I'll usually generate another 20 to 50 leads on average per day. Okay. I play on the 20 side. So now I've got 40 leads coming in per day and I've spent 2 hours. What else can I do? 40 leads a day is not going to cut it. Well, I could add some ads in. I could post more. I could go live again. I could do a partnership where somebody already has a huge list and I do something great for them and they tell me or, share me in their list or whatever. There's these different, now it's like, there's no shiny objects. It's like, well, you either need to go live more or you need to post more, or you need to create a bigger price tag, if that's not hitting it, right? Is this helping at all? Because the thing that's holding you back is you don't have clarity. Like, think about it. If you can't see the target, how are you going to hit it? If you don't know the address to the location, how are you going to find it? If they leave one number out, you go to a completely different neighborhood. If you don't, when people are like dream boards and, oh, get excited. I think dream boards are great because you can at least see like, okay, I'm trying to get there. But I think a dream board done right, if you have let's say you want to fly private once a month, whatever. I'm just making some shit up. Okay. If you want to fly private once a month, let's just say that would cost, if you're not being real fancy, let's say that would cost 10 grand. Okay. Okay. Now we've got something that's quantifiable. Oh, so you need to make an extra 10 grand on top of what you need to do this fancy thing. Okay. How are we going to do that? Now, all of a sudden, there's no shiny objects. It's like this or that. And everything that you do, it's like, well, if I sit here and do nothing and think about thinking, then is that going to get me closer to the 100 grand a year that I want? Or is making a piece of content, even if it's complete shit, is making a piece of complete crap content going to get me there closer than me doing nothing? Okay. Obvious answer. Is me sitting around making lists going to get me closer to my goal, or is me doing a crappy live or emailing somebody going to get me there closer? Oh, okay. Boom. If you don't have a clarity on what you're trying to get, you can't make decisions. And no matter what, every single second of every day, you're either going up or down. There's no middle. You're not the same each day. You are either lesser or more. This is physics. This is like science. This isn't like something somebody quoted. And there's only so much time. And you can worry about all those things you can't control, but you don't have any control. So what you do have is you have options. You have choices, and you can choose to do one thing or the other thing. But no matter what, you have to accept the outcome. So it gets real easy on choices. You have to be able to choose. The only element that allows you to choose is to have a North Star. You have to have, there has to be something that weighs out the decision. And it's always, does this get me closer to where I'm going? Does turning left or right get me closer to that house? Okay. So it's always an A-B decision. All decisions. There could be 1,000 options, but there's only 2 choices. It's a wild thing, right? So you could have 1,000,000 different funnels you could use, but the choice is only between 1 or 2 things. And that is, what is the common denominator between all things in a funnel? I need to get a lead. So which one can get me a lead and which one cannot? Well, they all can. Okay. Which one's easier? That's it. That's it. That's where it's like reductionism. It's like first principles thinking. The only reason you're not doing something, we say it's confidence, we say it's lack of drive, all this stuff. You just don't have a reason to do it. Why are you doing it? And then if you say to yourself, well, I just can't get motivated to do it. The only question I have is why. And you need to keep asking why until you get there. Like, why aren't you doing it each day? Whatever the answer is, then it's like, okay, why? Why? Toyota says the 5 whys. You get about 5 whys and you're to the root cause. And then you're either going to A, change, or B, not change. So And I'm not, this is everybody. This is me. I'm not just talking to you, Bill. You just primed it. So the thing though is this, like, what are you trying to accomplish? You know, like for instance, for you, like what is your number for 2024?
120, 125.
125. Okay.
Mhm.
So how many units of your thing do you need to sell to get that?
That I don't know off the top of my head, but I can tell you here in a sec. Oh, that's not right.
Here's the interesting thing. So we've got 125.
No, it
How
can't
much
be
is
that.
your thing?
600
Okay.
divided by 600. 208.
Okay. So you need to sell 208 units. How many is that per day?
Divided by 365.57.
Okay, so half a unit per day. You need to get half a sale a day, or you need to get 15 sales a month, roughly. Okay.
Okay.
So if we know that we're going to sell 1% of our leads at bare minimum, even if you have a crappy system, you can do this. We know we can sell 1% of our leads. How many leads do we need per day to sell 15 per month? Well, don't worry about trying to figure that math out. I will just ask ChatGPT on my phone. Hold on. If I want to make 15 you little bastard. All right. Hold on. I make 1% of my leads into sales, and I need to make 15 sales per month. How many leads do I need per day to do that?
Achieve 15 sales per month with a conversion rate of 1%. You need to generate around 50 leads per day.
Okay. So you need to generate 50 leads per day to hit 15 sales a month. Okay.
Okay.
How are you going to get 50 leads per day? Well, let's play with
Live. You have to go live.
Yep. The only options you have: go live, post, run ads, partnership. That's it. So if you have to go live, let's say this. Let's say you had to go live 3 different times per day for 1 hour. Where can you go right now where you can work 3 hours a day in your office and make $125,000? You understand? What we're
Right.
asking here is nothing out of like, there's nothing about this that is even remotely hard. If I was graduating high school and somebody said to me, "Hey, Mike, you need to talk to your phone in an office by yourself for 3 hours each day, and we'll give you $125 bills, $125,000 at the end of each year," I wouldn't miss a second. Or you can go work for Billy Bob's down here at the welding shack for 10 hours a day and make $89 a day. or $110 a day or whatever the hell it is. Let's be honest about what's happening here. Okay. So now that we know that you need to get 50 leads per day. This is not a joke. This is a real true fact. 50 leads per day. That's not a lot of leads that you need to get per day. You could literally manually go out 5 hours a day. I don't know. It would maybe not even take that long. You could have your funnel in place. You got to have your system in place, but you could literally go out and manually get 50 leads per day just in comments by having something to offer that somebody that is in need or want. Like if I had a funnel, which you're going to have a funnel because this is how you get leads. The offer on it should be something that even if you went into the comments in YouTube videos all day long if you just worked like a normal human and worked 6 or 8 hours a day, only you did it in your office and you spent 6 or 8 hours a day just interacting in comments on a single platform, offering your funnel or, the free offer in your funnel, you could generate more than 50 leads per day. The problem is consistency.
Yeah.
Most people aren't consistent because it hurts to engage your brain on a certain activity for a certain amount of time. And then this is what separates humans. Who can be consistent, who can't. So it's always just this A-B scenario here. What you'd want to do is if you really, really, really want 120, if you really mean it, that you want 125,000 by the end of this year. What's funny is if you do the activities that I would have you do, it would probably be triple this.
Right.
But you're going to have to make a single sacrifice, which is I don't do anything other than this thing. And that's only for 1 year.
Mhm.
Now, that might be like, oh, man, life is too short. How long have you been saying that? The likelihood of you being alive for the next 5 years is very likely. Would you sacrifice 1 year of just focusing on helping people with your solution to gain 125,000 in a 12-month period? Which, if you actually did that, you would probably do, like I said, 3 to 5x that.
Absolutely. Huh.
So that means, so instead of trying to figure out all the things that you need to do, what you really want to find out is all the things that you don't need to do. So we'll say A is the need to do, B is the don't do. What are things, this is what you want to, and this side over here is the one that people have the most, this is the harder thing to deal with. Like the things that you need to do are quite simple. Okay. Whether you're a morning or night person, whatever it is, you need to find that part of the clock where you're going to operate. And during those times, you are going to operate without any kind of distraction, meaning you're going to remove every kind of distraction. I can't have anything in my office other than what I need to operate in here, or I will get distracted. It is the nature of who I am. I can't have my guitars setting in here because I'll want to play my guitars. I can't have my keyboard. I can't have fishing poles. I can't have anything, golf, anything. It's got to be gone. If you set gingerbread muffins with icing and cinnamon and shit on them, if you set them in here, I will eat those damn things. I don't care. Like if you set, I can't even have it around. I don't have enough. Like I'm just a human. So you have to remove things. And you have to preset the time and dates. Otherwise you're screwed. Right? Like if I was with a spouse that was like, this, that, I just couldn't do it. because I know how important it is to me to achieve the things in my life that I want to achieve. If they don't have that same drive, and that's fine, but just at least allow me my life. And I'll support everything that I said I would support in the way that, we agreed that I could help and support and do everything, right? Like these are where this is just, I'm not going to go down that road of communicating and setting boundaries and things, but I am sort of. You have to remove everything. That means like when I was serious about, like, I wanted to make $1 million, like I was like, I don't give a crap if these 20-year-olds are doing this shit. I'm going to figure this crap out. I did nothing. Now, I'm not saying be like me, but I'm saying it helps a lot. I worked from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Don't talk to me between those times. And that's pretty much all day. And I didn't need to do that, but I didn't know the right ways to do it like I do now, where I can get it done in 3 to 4 hours a day. Then I just pounded, and yeah, it worked. But I could have done it in half the time if I'd have known the proper activities. You have the proper activities. You need to get 15 sales a month at 600 every single month. That's not even a full sale each day. And the requirement is 50 leads a day. But what if you just sold on accident? You accidentally sold 2% of the leads. Last year in 2023 was like 3.48% of the leads that I generated, I sold. So if you just did 2%, you would reach this goal. That's why I'm saying it would probably be 3x what your goal is here. I think it's a great goal. I think you can do it. I don't think. I know you can. Are you going to do it? Like, are you going to, every day, are you going to do it?
Yes.
There's no note taking that you need to do. You don't need to take any more notes. You don't need to buy any more software. You don't need to learn anything more. What you need, like, this goes for everybody, even if you're new. The only thing you need to do each day, I promise you, the only thing you need to do each day is show up and do your income earning activities. And they are very, very simple. So this is why I know that you can do them without learning another thing. The only thing that's going to keep each and every one of you from achieving that number at the end of 2024 is inconsistency. It's not going to be because the work was too hard. It's not going to be because you didn't know what to do. It's not going to be because you didn't have the right tools. Everybody can do it with literally a simple system.io account and a social media platform. And you can make more than 95% of people on the planet in 2024, even if you're starting brand new today. What do you need? Okay. What do you need? You have to what you need to first do is you need to know what you need to remove everything that is not necessary to the plan. Okay. And what's beautiful is this. It doesn't mean you can't still practice your air hockey table. It doesn't mean you can't still go dancing with your wife or have a beer or something. That doesn't mean that. It just means during whatever this time period is, mine happens to be 8 to 2. Yesterday, I worked till 8 o'clock at night. I wanted to. Shoot me. I don't get bent out of shape like people do about their times and shit. I look at it like, what the hell am I going to do with all this freaking time? I know that if I put in more time, it just happens faster. I was smart enough to find something that I like doing all the time. So it's like, oh, you're going to make me do what I want to do all day? That's why it's so important. It's not about like, oh, follow your passions. It just, it's like, how can you use what you're passionate about in what you're doing to get to the goal? So I know in here, From here to here, I'm planning content and what I'm going to say that day. Every day. The hell am I going to say? Well, what do you do, Mike? Well, I help people make money selling their advice on the internet. There's attract, convert, and deliver. Pick one of those things and get your ass talking about it. Show them the benefits. Show them what people can do. Show them how to do it. Offer your thing to help them do it faster and easier. Da-ding! That's it. Everybody on here is selling something that helps somebody do something faster and easier. That's it. That's it. What's your thing? Well, I don't know if it's going to make money. Well, the question isn't that. The question is somebody already making money with your thing? If they are, yes, is the answer. Go do it. Don't get romantic. Don't be like, well, you know, this and that and this offer and they're doing it already and this thing. That is called thinking about thinking. That is called you're just, I don't know what you're doing. It's like you're just, I don't know what you're doing. Why are you doing that? Stop. Just do. Okay. So from 9 to 10, I'm going live every effing day. I don't care if the Pope is at my house. I don't care what is going on. And some days I will probably miss it and have to do it later that day. Okay. Landon might have a track meet or something from 9 to 10. Well, what do you want me to do? I'm not missing that because that shit only happens once. So I'm moving the time. All right. And I let everybody know in my life, try to get a hold of me between these times. Good luck. You better be on fire or something. Like it better be serious. Okay. Then from 10 to 12, I'm producing marketing materials. Okay. Or I'm doing this call. So I'm either promoting a post, something. And then from 12 to 2, I'm thinking about improving my product. Okay. How can I make a better product? How can I make a better funnel? How can I make my machine work better? Okay. How can I make my golf club better or whatever you're building? Like, how can I make the car better? How can I make the machine better? How can I simplify it? How can I make it more efficient? And then the rest of the day is mine. From like literally 2 all the way till when I usually go to bed, which honestly is about 11 o'clock, I can just be a complete jerk off and I'll still achieve my goal. Because all it really truly takes is you need to do at least 3 posts per day on a platform, not all of them. It's great if you put them on all of them. Why would that be bad? But you need one platform that you are going to show up on every day, providing what? Hey, are you dealing with this pain or problem? Well, let me show you the benefits of doing this to get rid of it. Are you dealing with this pain or problem? Have you tried doing this? I will show you how to do that in this thing. Hey, oh, by the way, I've got more of this type of training in my funnel over here. You don't say funnel, but come on down. It's free. I give you a PDF, a guidebook, and a video that shows you how to work through your problem and get it figured out. And then at the end of that, you're saying, hey, oh, and by the way, I've got this product that if you come join me, I will help you get there even faster and even easier than you figuring it out on your own. Come on down. Oh, and if you start right now, you're going to save 20% and I'll give you a hat and I'll talk to you in person or I'll send you a card on your birthday, whatever the bonus is. I don't care. Give them an incentive to do it right now. And then when they join, make sure that you honor your promise. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. And you just do that every day. Now, me at 2 o'clock, I'm like, what the fuck? What am I going to go do? Walk around? What am I going to do? go sailing. Like, what am I going to do? Even if I went golfing for 4 hours, it's 6 o'clock and I still have from 6 till 10:30, 11. What the hell am I going to go watch a movie? What am I going to do? Go exercise? I do that in the morning from 6 a.m. to 8 is like my time in the morning to basically work out and feed myself or get a shower or shave whatever hair that I have, like that's it. And then in the evening, I can go somewhere, do something, what what am I going to do? So I just keep working, unless somebody wants to do something like, the family or friends or something. So this is what's nice, right? Now, if you're trying to practice an instrument, if you're trying to practice a technique, if you're trying, whatever, you get to do that. You have that time. But for most people, if they just work from 8 to 2, not even having to go anywhere, just in their office, their whole life would change radically, even if they were selling something that was dumb. So I don't know why any of you can't do this. I don't know what is the hang up. There's something.
I think mine is a bit of skills, Mike. I built courses. I don't know why I'm so hung up on building the system IO funnels and, the automations and that stuff with it.
You're thinking how, not who.
Yeah. Okay. And getting
You're like, how do I do
audience.
this? How do I set this up?
Yeah.
What if I was really like in a situation where I wasn't going to take the time to figure it out on my own? I would literally go to Fiverr and be like, who can build a system.io funnel? Here's the one that the guy gave me in the course that I'm in. Can you build this for me?
And I actually did that for my free course funnel.
And
yeah, it works. Sort of. Yeah. Just I'm focused now really on building my audience. I've got I don't know how that is, but I'm getting 600 to 700 impressions pretty much per video on TikTok. I know that's not much, but I'm just kind of focused.
I just don't measure
really.
that in like, what is the one thing that we need to measure each day?
Getting leads.
Getting leads. That's it. The rest will take care of itself. If you have the system set up.
I'm pretty far from that. I'm pretty far from that.
I am going to create a new funnel training just because obviously I need to. So I'm going to do that. But, and that wasn't a jab. I was literally saying like, there isn't like, I don't know where you guys are getting extra training or courses or anything, but unless I'm like delusional or I'm completely looking in the wrong places, I don't know too many people that do what we're doing here that spend 4 hours a week with you in person like this. And is willing to do whatever the hell you want to do right here. So, and, constantly like there, but if you don't ask, I can't help. And I know that you have asked for the funnel. And I know that there is funnel training in there and that you could figure it out on your own. You're just telling yourself that you can't. You're not actually like maybe getting in there and following per because I know other people are creating it with that.
Yeah. I think I'm overthinking.
Yeah, it is. And it's not your fault. This isn't anything wrong with you. It's just there's something that's saying that I can't do it or something.
Yeah, I've gone through all the help stuff on system, but there's just I'll do a certain amount, then I'll just run into a problem.
Yeah.
some stupid little thing, and I can't find the answer in system. I can't.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to
Um,
fix that. I'm creating that funnel training, and I'll just literally, I'll just do it. Okay.
Yeah.
And you'll have
And-
that. And I want that. But the daily thing all of you need to follow is the income generating activities. Like, let's not worry about, impressions or clicks or views or anything. I promise you, if you follow this like path, it works. I've been doing this for years, and I even miss a lot of steps. Like, I won't always post 3 times a day, and I still overshoot what my goal is. This isn't because I'm special or better than you or anything. But I do know that each day you have to post something of some sort. And you can even screw this up a little bit, which I don't like saying that, because then it gives you like a little back door or something. But if you can at least put out 3 simple little posts each day, I don't care how long they are, if they're 10 seconds or 10 minutes, but you need to post 3 times a day. And when you post, you're not just posting some random crap. Take whatever it is that you help people with, pull a piece out of it, and show them how that piece helps them. Ta-da. But we're afraid to give the actual just answer. But now here's the next thing. You can, if you got to, I'm telling you to cast 3 times a day. If you don't have a hook on the end of the line, you will get no fish. So if we're posting 3 times a day, the next income generating activity is we need to get a lead. So we send them to our funnel and we make a free offer. And this free offer is why they're giving us their email address. And at the end of the free offer that you give them, you are going to make them another offer, which is the paid offer. What's the free offer got to do? Remember, teach them enough to where they go, oh, that guy knows what he's talking about. That's helpful. I can use that right now. You've helped me cross most of this path here. You help them out of the, say, 10 steps or however many steps it is. And when I say steps, I think some of you are getting too granular. Mine's attract, convert, deliver. That might look like this. Okay. Well, I'm just going to teach them the attraction part, and I'll tell them if they want the rest of this, they got to come buy my program. If I can teach them this in 10 minutes or something, and then make an offer at the end to buy my program, 1% of the people that watch that video will purchase from me if I consistently follow up. And what we found is it takes about 20 touches. What's the first touch? I seen your short form content. What's the second touch? I came into your funnel. What's the third touch? I watched your video in the funnel. What's the fourth touch? I got an email from you. What's the next one? I seen you again the next day. And then I got an email from you again, showing me more value. But these are simple things. Even if you suck, these are simple things that you can do. So we make 3 posts. All you have to do is I do it in damn near all of my posts. But at least one of the posts out of the 3 needs to be them saying, are you saying, go buy the thing? Just go buy it. You're literally in business. It's like playing, if you don't say go buy it, that's like playing basketball and not shooting. Like, don't play don't be upset about the game if you're not shooting. Even if you're the best defender, you still have to score at least once. So, and they expect it. When I go to Walmart, I expect to see prices and things trying to get me to buy things. When they go on social media, when they go to your funnel, they expect to be sold. They know you're not doing it because it's a part of your bucket list in your journal. They know you're trying to sell them something. So 3 posts a day. If you really want to get the juices flowing, which I suggest all of you need to do, unless you don't care to do it, then that's just understand the outcomes. Okay. I think everybody needs to focus on having a weekly workshop. Get out your calendar and each week pick one day that you're going to spend 1 hour going on a live Zoom and getting people on that. This is in addition to your funnel.
Mike, if I can just step in on that one, I only had one person on my workshop yesterday because partly it was my fault because I had an email because I used to go on Saturday and now I switched it to Wednesday, but I forgot to change the email in my, auto sequence to Wednesday. But I had one person on, but she's totally on board. She's coming on the group and in the next couple. So a 1-to-1. I don't care if I had 50 people on there. If my ratio is 1-to-1. I'm pretty damn happy with it.
You get 50 people on a weekly workshop and you'll buy 2 new cars in 2024 with cash. Trust me when I tell you, you guys are literally a weekly workshop away from making more money than you've ever made. As easy as that sounds, probably only one of you that are on here will actually do it. Because you're busy doing whatever the hell you're doing. Something is more important. And you have to identify that. Or just shh about what's happening. Like, if you're upset, if you're complaining, if you're wanting an outcome, and you're not willing to do the thing, then just shh. Because you know better. I'm not being hard on you. You know better. If you don't eat right and you don't move your body, what do you expect? Well, I'm old. No, I know old people that are in great shape. They eat right and they exercise. There's no reason whatsoever you can't spend the day each day doing the certain activities, and it's not even hard. And I'll be honest with you, it's pretty fulfilling and it gives you a lot of confidence. You actually help a lot of people, which is ultra fulfilling. And it starts to become fun if you do it in a pattern. I heard Tiger Woods saying the other day, he was talking because him and his son were in this hero tournament thing. And I don't know if it was when he said it at the hero tournament, it came on during this time. He said every day when he was in full mode of being Tiger Woods, like trying to win Masters and all this stuff, he said, I would not leave the golf course. He goes, I didn't care how late it went. I would not leave the golf course until I made 100 putts in a row. He's a billionaire, of course, with golf. A weekly workshop? I don't give a shit if the first 10, nobody's even there. Do it anyway. Take the recording and put it on YouTube. Chop it up into shorts. That's all you got to do. Every day, it's like 3 posts a day. 1 minimum. well, the editing and all this shit. Don't edit the damn thing. Don't put the captions on it. Just post it. Captions, for the first 13 years of me making money every day doing this, nobody talked about captions. There were no captions. There were no shorts. This is just bullshit slowing people down. And it doesn't need to. So weekly workshop for 1 hour, record it. And when you're done with the recording, you have a couple options. Do nothing or upload it to YouTube. And you'll be making call to actions in it. And in the description of your YouTube video, I would put a link that goes to your funnel to get a lead. Yeah. And then, so we've got a funnel. Check. What's the funnel, Mike? It's 4 pages. It can really be 3, but I like using 4. 4 pages. Page 1, get the lead. Page 2, educate and sell. Page 3, order form or appointment. Page 4, receipt, or your appointment is scheduled. I'll see you there. That's it. Post 3 times a day, and in each of your posts, I do it in each post, damn near. Why wouldn't I? In each of your posts and wherever you're posting, there needs to be links to that funnel. That's your store. Imagine having a store on the planet out there somewhere. And you're like, no roads. Do not build a road to this store, please. You have to parachute in here. Like, the links are the roads online. Give them a road. Hey, if you want to get there, the door's down in the description. Just click on the door and you're there. Free stuff that you want that will help you. Go get it. And then we have our free offer and then our paid offer. Free offer is what they're opting in for. And inside of the free offer, we put the paid offer. It's like, come over here to this cut-go knife demonstration. Let me give you some free value. Watch this. Demonstration, chopping it up. Oh, here's how you cut onions. But if you cut it with this knife, it's even better. Faster, easier, sharper. Oh, by the way, if you want to buy these knives, go right here and buy them. And if you buy them while you're watching this demonstration, I'll wink at you. If you buy today, we'll throw in an extra potato peeler. That's all we're doing. We're attracting them, social media. We're converting them in the funnel. And then when they buy our thing, if I buy those knives, I should get some knives. If they buy your thing, they should get your thing. Nothing more complicated than this. You don't need you don't need 14 autoresponders and 7 chat GPT accounts and 32 website builders and 9 application builders just in case. You don't need to take 14 copywriting courses and a bunch of graphics courses and all this crap. So a weekly workshop is good for 1 hour, and then post it on YouTube. A funnel, this is a must. Okay, that's our store. And then we're posting 3 times a day at minimum. Or you can, and then if you really want to get the juices flowing, you can run some ads. Whichever posts are working good, or you can just risk some money. People go to the casino. I'll go to the casino and I'll be playing a machine and I'll drop like $400 into this stupid ass machine. And then all of a sudden I'm sitting there, I'm like, damn, I could have probably made like 5 sales from that if I would have put it into TikTok ads. So you can run ads if you want. I'm going to show you how to run some ads in 2024. Okay? Because I'm going to run some ads. I'm going to run some TikTok ads and maybe even LinkedIn ads. I'm going to try to get excited about LinkedIn. Just because I never really have. And it's something I want to just get into my repertoire. But I know LinkedIn has some power over there. They all do. Hell, I could shut them all off and just use Pinterest. I promise you, I could make $1 million in 2024 using Pinterest. I could probably use anything, and you could too. It's not because I'm special. I would just follow the natural occurring, like, I would just have a pattern of posting there. If you go out in the forest every day, even if you've never been in a forest and you've never been hunting, if I hand you a rifle and I send you into the forest every day in 2024, you will kill more animals and have more food to eat than you could even eat. There's no magic to this. And the reason why they always talk about mindset and because that's the problem. It's not because you can't type on a keyboard. Think about what we got to do. Click and type and talk. Or type. You don't even have to talk. Click and type. I mean, it's so crazy. We need a 4-page funnel connected to Stripe or PayPal. Okay, just use Stripe, right? Think about this. I want to simplify. I'm not trying to be rude. I really want you guys to know that, like, the year you've always dreamed of having is right there. Even if you're brand new. It's like, if you've never made a pumpkin pie before, and every day in 2024, if you learn you think building a website is hard? Try to cook a meal every day yourself in 2024. Try to make a full course meal every day in 2024. You want to see tough. I watch people build fire stations faster than some of you are building a funnel. It's not because you can't. And I'm not talking to you, Burton. I'm talking to everybody. Okay? I'm talking to everybody. Listen, I made bazillions of mistakes in 2023 that I am not going to repeat. Because that would just be kind of dumb. We just need to focus on the core activities. Okay? 3 times, and then we can go live. I think going live is just so important. It just helps you in so many ways, right? Helps you learn how to talk, communicate. It helps you work out different ideas. It helps you make money because you can connect with people live. You can get feedback right there. At any time, you can get on and start talking to someone. like, damn. You don't have to go rent a hotel room and send out invitations and follow up with it. You just click live on the thing. Well, I got to get 1,000 followers. Okay. You know how you do that? I'm going to tell you right now. Every single day, as many times as you possibly can muster, create list content or how-to content or demonstrate something. That's it. Humans love, hey, this is how you could start every TikTok like this. Hey, I want to show you 5 things to get you what you want. And then you would say what it is that they want. All right. I'm going to show you 5 ways that you can build a funnel. I'm going to show you 3 ways to build a landing page. I'm going to show you 3 ways to write an email. Hey, in this video, if you've had trouble creating videos, I'm going to give you 2 tips about videos. And just do as many of those as you can each day, and you will be over 1,000 followers in a week. Well, I'm self-conscious and all that stuff. Why? Nobody even cares about you. I don't mean this in a harsh way, okay? Don't call HR on me. I'm talking about, like, just accept the fact that even you right now, you do not care about me. You don't give a shit about me. You can say you do, and I love you for that. But the only reason you're here right now is for you. That's it. That is it. You're not here for me. Get out of here. You're kidding me, right? So you don't need to worry about any of that because nobody is but you. So all you have to do is just leave that at the door. Like whenever you get that feeling like somebody cares what you look like or sound like or whatever, just remember, have something somewhere to trigger you. Something. I don't care what it is. Hang a piece of cloth or by your computer somewhere, put a gold coin or a piece of scotch tape. I don't know. But it needs to have something that when you see that every time you go, oh yeah, they don't give a rat's ass about what I look like or who I am or anything. All they care about is them. So what do they want? Let's give it to them. That is it. That is it. I don't care what the person who makes my toothpaste looks like, smells like, eats like. I don't care if they fall off of a bridge. Now, I don't want harm for anybody. I don't want anybody to have any bad things. But if it happened, it wouldn't change a single second of my life. And I'm just trying to be honest with you because that's how people feel about you. And you're out there worried about all kinds of stuff. I get that way too. But at the same moment that it happens, I'm like, nobody gives a shit. The only reason they're here is for them. And that's okay. Thank goodness. Because I can lose a front tooth. I can have a patch over my eye. Shit, it'd probably help. They're like, who is this thing? Look at this interesting thing, So my point is like, just enjoy the fact that this isn't something so far away. The only reason that people aren't making a lot of money and doing what they want to do is 100% because they're not doing it. It's not even hard. I don't know who said this stuff was like so hard. It seems hard. It seems hard. But really ask yourself, what is really actually, honestly, truly hard about this? Anybody? I mean, what truly is in your soul hard about this? What's up, Alicia? Looking peachy. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm in here just laying down. I'm preaching. No, I'm just talking about, we were talking about, what Bill said he wants to hit 125K. He needs 208 leads. We found out that is 15 leads a month, which is, if he converts just 1% on the low side, just got off your live stream. Awesome. Then he needs 50 leads a day. And so, yeah, that's pretty sweet. And we were just talking about, these are the activities here that you can do to get, at least at minimum, you'd have 50 leads a day coming in. And that is just post 3 times a day, go live. You don't have to do all these to get 50 leads a day, but these will probably for sure it. 3 times a day post, go live at least, once a day. Have a funnel with a free offer and a paid offer. Go do a weekly workshop. And then if you want, you can run some ads if you want to juice it up. Listen, my first full year where I crushed it, my first full year in martial arts, I did $880,000. And in like it was like 2 months after I joined, I did like 154,000 something odd dollars in 3.5 months. I was selling a high ticket. It was $5,800. Actually, part of that time, it was only like $1,997, $2,000. Then I went to $5,800. And then towards the very end, I just started charging 9,800. I was just like, well, you know. And so what I'm telling you is, during that time, I just ran ads on Facebook. That's all I did. I didn't go live. I didn't do a weekly workshop. I had a funnel and I ran ads. That was it. That was it. I spent, on average, if I look back, I probably spent around that first year. I probably spent, I would say, on average, about $150 a day on ads if I spread it all out. Some days I was spending $3,000 a day, but it was only because I was profiting. If you're running ads and you're losing money, you're not running ads right. So how do you know if you're ready for ads? If you're converting organically, if you pour ads on it, it'll just it'll convert. It'll keep doing that. Just it'll convert more. And you also would like to have. So when I started running ads, I didn't have any proven content that was a good message. I actually probably lost, I don't know, maybe close to 10 grand trying to figure out what worked in the beginning. And I was willing to lose that. When I started in my agency, I was doing about 40 grand a month, zero time. And I was like, I had a little stockpile and I was like, I'm willing to, lose 10 grand to figure out what's going to work. And if I can't in that time, then I will have to go to something else because I don't want to, that was just my little barrier that I set. So it took it, and I lost about all of that money trying to figure out my message. Now, going back, I would have posted for 60 days really, really hard to find out what post messages and pictures what combination of post copy and picture and offer, what combination of that worked, what got the click, what converted the most. And then I would have ran that as an ad. And I would have probably saved 10 grand, but it would have probably taken 30, 60 days or something to figure them. Honestly, probably not even that long. If you post, let's say, if you're trying to figure out what to run as ads now, so this is the system that you're executing to find out what kind of ad is going to actually work. What you'd like to do, if you really want to do this, like if I was going to do this now, if I was going to be like, okay, I'm going to get ready to, and I will do this. Well, I already know because I posted enough to know I can go back and look at my content and be like, oh, here's all the outliers. And then out of all the outliers, I would pick the top like 3. And then I would run those as ads. And I would either recreate them following the exact same thing that made that one work, only I would add a call to action at the end. Or I would just literally run those, and then somewhere in the copy or something, those were Facebook ads. But listen, every ad platform just about works the same, and every ad platform is gonna just about act the same. Now, if you're selling, if you know for a super fact that a higher majority of your audience is on a like Pinterest or something versus TikTok or whatever, you would just by common sense go to the platform that they're at and run the ads there to begin with. I have built, a 6-figure organic brand on TikTok. So I know my people are there, and that's where I'm going to run ads. I'm also going to run ads on LinkedIn as well. I know my audience is on LinkedIn because I just see a lot of them that are in my community or in my funnel, my leads. My thing will show me where they have socials at inside of there, and I see a lot of LinkedIn. So, and it's a business place. So of course, so I'll be just giving you all I got there. I'll take the arrows in the back and be like, Gail, don't do that, do this. I'll do that for LinkedIn and TikTok. Okay. Cause I've never ran it. Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No. Don't apologize.
You were saying earlier that you did like $150 a day. Was that because like you wanted to get like faster results? Because a coach I used to work with, she was saying how like she did like $3 a day, $5 a day ads. And I want to know, like, what does that mean?
So when I first started, I didn't know what I was doing. And I was just like,
Okay.
I'll spend $100 a day.
Okay.
And then I got it to start working like that. And then if I averaged it out, it was like a lot. But in the beginning, it was just like $100 a day. And then I slowly moved it up to like I said, at one point I was running like $3,000 a day, but that was towards the end.
Okay.
But it sounds like a lot, but it's not, because you don't now to answer your question, if I were to start right now running ads on any platform, I would start out with $1 a day.
Okay. Okay.
And then because if it works at $1, it'll work at more dollars, but it does hit a threshold. Because here's what happens, and I'll show. This is one thing that if I can get you to understand anything about ads, this was the one thing that we learned, because I finally bought like some serious ad courses and really figured out how to do it. That's where towards the end I could really. Do you want this, Bill? Do you want to screen? Does anybody
Yes,
want to
wait.
screenshot this
Yeah,
or anything? Because
me.
I don't know if it means anything to you or not, but it at least is something that and there'll be a recording on this, but we never know. Sometimes the recording doesn't happen because it acts weird or something. Okay. So am I good to erase?
Okay, got it.
We good, everybody? Good. Okay. Okay. Clearing it out. 3, 2, 1. All right. So when you do ads, here's the interesting thing that we learned. Okay. So, and I really love Facebook ads until Facebook didn't let me run ads anymore. I can't run ads on Facebook. In an old training when I was teaching Facebook ads, I set up 2 accounts and they thought I was trying to manipulate their system or whatever. And they used to not do that. But then when the whole cookie thing, all that stuff happened, that was when they took my account. I could get my mom or something to set one up if I had to. Or somebody. Okay. But when you think of ads, this is what it is. Okay. This is a very, very powerful thing. And I know that it still holds true because I follow a person that's like super crazy with ads and they're still saying the same stuff as they always have. So with ads, if this is your audience right here, okay. So when you go to, and this works on just about, when I'm using TikTok ads, I literally feel like I'm at Facebook. Like it feels their ads manager, their everything feels so the same. And so I'm just going to set it up the same way and do the same thing that I did there because it worked really, really well. Okay. So when your audience, let's say that you pick your location, your interests, your age, you pick your attributes of the audience that you want to show your ads in front of. Let's say when you do that, let's say that the audience is 100,000 people. Okay. It'll likely be much larger than that. But let's say it's 100,000 people in that audience. So this square and these squares on here and everything, just imagine there's 100,000 squares on this little square thing here. For every dollar, that's for every dollar that you're running an ad, you don't want there to be more than 1,000. So $1 will cover 1,000 people. Okay, one per 1,000 people in the audience. What does this mean? It means in 100,000 person audience in a perfect world, you could spend $100,000 a day without pissing off the system. Okay. This is what you'll hear out there. So I reduce this down to 10, $1 per 10 people. Okay. Now, let me back this up here. Here's what happens with the algorithm. Okay. So the algorithm is like a mirror matching machine. We'll just call this a mirror. This is the identity of the person that you said you wanted to show your stuff to. You send that into the system. The system analyzes this and it tries to go mirror match that person over here based off those attributes. But then here's what happens. They create this audience for you. Let's say that your ad, and this happens quite often. Let's say that your ad is shown in front of someone. And let's say that person is, let's say Alicia sells a let's say that she sells pineapples, and the person that, they were scrolling through the thing. They just seen Alicia and they were like, oh, this is some pretty girl or something. And they click it or whatever. Okay. But they hate pineapples. The moment that person clicks on that, so one person out of that clicks on that, what the algorithm does is it goes, oh, this ad, whatever person clicked on it must be the right person because they clicked on it. So it takes that moment and that information and it goes, go find more people inside of this audience like that person. So maybe it shaves off half of it. Maybe there's only, out of the 100,000 now, maybe there's only 10,000 people left. And here's what people do. They'll be running $20 a day, right? Well, that's 20,000 worth of power. So what's going to happen is you're going to shove this ad in front of these people twice per day. Okay? Because that's what the algorithm, there's a threshold for everything. Don't ever think that there isn't. This is a machine. There has to be. It's a machine. There has to be ones and zeros. There are thresholds. Every machine has a threshold. Every system has a threshold. It will break at a certain point. The break point here is this. So you think you're running it to 100,000. So you think you can run $100 a day to this machine. So you're running $20 a day because you're just running some ads. You're checking it out. $20. I'll give it a whirl. The wrong person clicks on it. So it finds 10,000 of the people that match this person, let's say, that are now the wrong people, and you're going to show them your ad twice a day, and they're going to be like, get it out of here, spam, don't, and it's going to cost you more each day to show that ad, because Facebook's going to go, I'll take your money still, and if you want to show it to the wrong people all day, that's fine, but it's going to cost you more per impression and per click. And so now your ad cost goes up, your impression cost goes up, and this is where ads get to be really funny. You almost have to be a real ads person is a master at data and analytics and algorithms. Not somebody that's good at copywriting. That's a copywriter. Copywriter, grab any copywriter you can right now and tell them to run ads somewhere. It'll be a nightmare. So what you want to know is how the machine works. And that's what I literally learned how to do, because I had to learn how to do the machine thing, because back in the day, the only way I could get traffic was understanding the algorithms of SEO and crap. So I learned a valuable lesson there coming into it that I will give to you. And what's interesting is if you start with $1, just think about this. If you start with $1, even if the wrong person picks it, you're still going to be under what the threshold is. You won't get penalized. And what will happen is it will take that low dollar and what does it know? It knows that if you get the results that you paid for, what will you do? Keep paying. That's how they make money, when you keep paying. So if you start at $1, it's going to work its ass off to get you what you want. And so at that $1, if you're not over pressurizing the system, then it will recalibrate faster and it'll find the right people. And then if for 5 days straight, you can hold a consistent positive outcome. What's the positive outcome for any business that's running ads or content? Leads. If you can, for $1 a day, generate leads, you can move it to $2, $3. After you've got to let that ad run for $1. Now, I think you can start at about $3. $1's pretty low. It will be fine and work, but $3 is a nice number, because even if it clicks and goes, and you want to build an audience that is at least 100,000 or higher, it's very easy to do. Matter of fact, the higher you can. People think that some people get so hyper targeted that they actually screw themselves up. I'll see it. They'll be running ads and it'll be like, oh, I did this is so targeted. I'm going to poke them in the eye with the ad. I'm like 5,000 people. I'm like, you're running you're going to start with $10, you jackwagon, you're already screwed up from the beginning. I'm like, even at $1, if the wrong person clicks on that ad, then it could be down to 500 people and you're running $10. Facebook's it's going to be crazy. And then here's what happens. They'll be running it at $3 and they're like, yeah, I'm making leads. Oh. And then they'll be like, so I'm going to run $10. And then all of a sudden they don't realize how much of this they've already screwed up or how much it's been trimmed down. They run it at $10. The algorithm goes, whoa, way too much water coming into the pipe, recalibrate, and it's like they're starting over. You have to season that pan, and then you move it up 20% per day. You see how complicated this shit is? This is why I'm not talking about ads to you guys yet. It is a full-time, it's like day trading. Only there's more variables, which, I mean, there's a lot of variables in day trading, and I tried that out too. Forex and all this. I had like 10 screens in front of me. I was like drooling out of my lip. I couldn't even go to the bathroom. Like, it was like, you're going to miss it. And all while
Facebook
knowing
is like one of the best digital drug dealers in the world. Plus,
dude,
once
they
they give
all
you a little taste of success, then they want you to pay more to get that same
the
level of
whole
success.
entire you're 100%. Listen, nothing happens on these social media platforms that is not psychologically designed to make your little monkey brain freaking go day, 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 day. That's all that's the product. You think the pharmacies are bad. These people let the pharmacies advertise. And they know how to hit you in the pants. The guy that I was spending, once you spend like 500 grand on Facebook ads or something, you get an accountant, like a real one. Now, about 100,000, you'll get like a little helper, but they don't know shit. And then you'll get another helper about another 150, 200,000. And they'll know a little bit more, but these are people that are literally outsourced that work. I thought they worked for Facebook, and I found out down the pipe, whatever that thing is, I found that they're just outsourced people. They don't even, most of the time I would get my Facebook helper person on that was supposed to help me optimize my ads, and they were completely brain dead about how ads worked. And I was like, oh God, these are the people out there telling people what is going on here. No wonder, which is in benefit to them, because that you're at the casino, hey. So it doesn't have to be that way. If you do it the right way, you can make ads really work for you, but you have to pay attention to that a lot. When I was running ads, it was very, very stressful, because especially as a single operator, because not only did I have to create content, create the ad, take care of my clients, create the course, I then had to like put on 6-inch thick glasses and my mathematics and physics hat and do ads. It was crazy. But listen, ads are great. They can be great. And they can be simple, but there's these principles that you have to follow just like anything else, and you can do it. It's just going to take you some learning. And frankly, I was capable of picking it up rather quickly. And I think most of you will too. And listen, I make it sound scary, but if you don't know what you're doing, it can be costly. Okay. Their machine is designed for them to win. I promise. Okay. It is what it is. Okay. So, but it is a write-off. But the thing is like, I will teach you the way, young grasa pasa. So you got to understand a few things about it, and then you can compound what works. It's do more of what works, less of what doesn't, but you have to identify that first. You start low and you scale up 20% per day until the machine breaks, because you'll find the 20% per day. If you're starting at $3, it's like the next day you're spending like $3.70. And then if it's still working, it's still generating leads. You're still getting clicks under what you want your. I had this all out. I'll find my sheets from back in the day. I had a Google sheet that had like 30 columns on it. And I was like measuring every day. I'd go in and put impressions, reach, cost, clicks, leads, time, everything. And I would have to drool on that thing all day to be like, do I turn it up? Do I compound this ad? Do I duplicate it? Do I scale it? But once I figured it out, it was like, damn, it was like cheating at the casino. And it was fun too, because you could just you could test so fast. That's what I love about ads. You want to test a message, you can test really fast because you can just go in there. But this is where TikTok came in and was like, oh, you want to test fast? Cool. Just put it on our. This is what happened with that. They literally, like, TikTok was amazing at this. Like, they set the tone for all the socials. You could post something and you knew real fast if it was something that grabbed, because they turned it from like follower and like this hierarchy base to like, if it was interesting and people found it interesting, they would push the shit out of it. So you knew real fast on TikTok what was interesting and what wasn't. Now everything is sort of working this way. I don't know for a fact about, all the platforms, but I know for a good fact that I know YouTube and LinkedIn. I don't know about LinkedIn. I assume LinkedIn, but LinkedIn, TikTok, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube, I know, and Instagram, I know, went to interest-based algorithms because they literally came out and said that. So, which changed the game for a lot of people. And I think Facebook, when TikTok came over and switched it, they lost, I want to say, like $21 billion in ad revenue because of it. People didn't have to spend that money. So they had to switch to it, and then they had ads on top of it. So they started regaining. But since 2019 to 2023, Facebook has lost $49.7 billion, I think, on ad revenue. So this is why I'm like, and truly, the better way is to get your content to work for you. The problem is, especially for somebody new, that requires you having to publish a lot, which is a time thing. It requires you to learn messaging and all of this stuff. Which messaging really, I mean, if we really want to get down into it, messaging is really just you being a very, very, very good person at finding what your customers are saying, rearranging it, and saying it back to them. That's all copywriting is. I have closets full of copywriting books because I was like, it was always the thing. Like, if you know what to say, they'll do it. And it's true. But then what I found, like reading the old school copywriting books, when I came across Ogilvy, the one that's like a black and white book or whatever, it's like his famous one, such a good book. But there's one page in there that matters, and that really matters. And that is, he goes, out of all my years of running $1 billion ad agency back in the 30s, he said, I found out that the best way to, or the way you write copy is you don't write copy at all. Your customer does. You just rearrange it and say it back to them. And that like opened up everything for me. Why do you think the communities now are so powerful? Because you can go into your community and listen to what people are saying and say it back to them. The vidIQ, the free vidIQ feature where you can go contains questions down in the comments, that will write every bit of copy you need for 2024 and beyond. And that's all you need to do. Because like, it's like, I wonder what my prospects are thinking. I wonder what I could say to them to get them to buy my thing. Well, if you've never heard of me talking about how to find this, then I'll give you some leeway. But if you're still saying that and you've been around me and heard me say it, then you're just not going and doing that little bit of work. Like, it's so easy. If we went to, like, for Brad, for the golf thing right now or something, if we went to, how do I hit a ball straight? And it would pull up 1 million YouTube videos okay, which is a good sign because people obviously care about that, okay? You could literally just click on the first one that pops up that has probably a lot of views. You go down in the comments, look at questions, and you'll see a pattern of questions. And that's what you're looking for. You don't know what it's going to be, and you'll find lots of things that will work. But what you're looking for is the pattern. Okay. And there's always a pattern. Don't ever tell me there's not. There's always a pattern. This is a first principles physics thing. There's always a pattern. If you don't see it, it's because you haven't looked long enough. You haven't looked in the right places. And so what you'll find is you'll find a pattern down in the bottom, and you can use it over and over. The beautiful thing about everything that all of us do is everybody's already done it very successfully. And somebody's being born every day, every second. Somebody's going, oh, I think I like golf, or, oh, I think I want a better career, or, oh, I want to be better at speaking that language. Oh, I want to do this, like every second right now, 1 million people just said that, So all you have to do is find out, scan their brain, go down in the comments where they use their brain to make the comment, find that, copy it into a doc or write it down. And then every time you find the same thing, so like what I'll do on a doc is it looks like this. It's like the most non-chat GPT thing. And it's like what you need to do. So I'll have my Google Doc and I'll copy and paste comments. And then every time I see the same comment, okay, I'll go put a little mark by it. Oh, there's somebody else talking about that. And then by the time I get done with my thing, it looks like this. Well, which one do I lead with? How do I turn this into a headline? That's where you get ChatGPT involved, or you just say it back to them. Hey, are you saying these things and you wish you could fix it? Then you create the free offer, the free training, and then you tell people about, and then you go back to this person and hit that reply button. That's why they put it there. And you reply, hey, I was reading your comment and I noticed a lot of people were saying that. And so I went and actually created a free training about fixing that. And I just thought maybe you would want to know what it is. And you give it to them. If they click on that and you get a lead from that, that is the signal that you need before sales. Now just keep doing more of that, because you and make the sound louder and louder and louder. Okay. The number one thing that we're trying to do each day is generate as many leads as possible. And that is because we have a great follow-up system in place. Okay. We've got to have a follow-up system in place. Okay. All right. It is 12 o'clock. I do want to get off of here because I want to try to keep it concise for everybody. Do we have any questions about anything? I was going to go over some other stuff,
Yes.
but we don't have time. Go ahead.
I made a post in a group on yesterday, and I was asking about, because I just started my pocket offer, you know what I'm talking about? So essentially it's going to be like a paid podcast, because I'll have it hosted through there. And so I said, I already have my free podcast that I've been having since like 2020. And so it gets about maybe like 500 to 700 download the episode. I have not created any like fresh content since like April, but what I do is I just upload the live streams that I do every week on there. And so I wonder if my free podcast is going to cause like a friction with my new paid podcast, and if I need to just not have the free one. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I
Okay.
would say that. Okay, I'll tell you what I would do.
Okay.
I wouldn't even worry about that until
Okay.
it like became a problem. You know what I mean? Because we don't
Okay.
know.
Okay.
We don't
Okay.
know until we do it a little bit. And if you're doing it and you're hearing feedback like, oh, I love this. I listened to your other one. That's why I'm not, those kinds of things. If you
Okay.
start hearing that, then it's like, okay, I'm going to phase this other thing out, or I'm going to reformulate it. Like take those podcasts and how can we turn those into follow-up emails, or how can we turn those into shorts, or how can we turn those into
Yeah.
how can you take all of that and have somebody make it into like a training that you could sell? Or could that be a low ticket front end offer by combining all those? Or, you can literally pay people on Fiverr and Upwork and stuff like that. If you're willing to like just go look, you can give them a big chunk of like data, which would be like all of your podcasts from the free podcast. And you can literally pay somebody to painstakingly go through that stuff and highlight whatever they can go through and pull out all the chunks, and they could put it into a Word doc or something, and then that could be turned into a a low ticket product or something like that. It could be turned into an email series, and they'll do it. Like, but forget about all that. All I'm trying to say is you could take all of that information and you could have it, you can use all that. Like, I mean, you
Yeah.
created all of that. That is an asset. Like that's like you painted all those pictures. Don't just
Mhm.
do nothing with them. Right?
Because I was just gonna like still like have it there, but I wasn't gonna upload anything else on there.
Yeah, I mean, I guess one of the questions because anytime I hear like we're stopping something, is I always ask, like, is it delivering food to the village though?
Yeah.
I always ask that. Like, I never shut something off that's working.
Got
I
it.
only shut it
Okay.
off if I have something else that's working better and it's conflicting it.
Got it. Okay.
Kind of
Okay.
like,
I see what you're
don't quit
saying.
your
Yeah.
job till you have a better job.
Right. Got it. Got it. Got it. And every client I've ever worked with, they've always said they always like went through all of my podcasts. So okay.
Yeah. So
So I'll just
I
leave
think
it.
what we need to discover is like, what are you trying to avoid? Or what are you trying to get away from? What are you trying to do?
Right. I think it's like I don't. It's kind of what you were saying earlier. And I want them to think like, well, why would I pay for this podcast and you already have the other one for free?
Yeah, the only reason that you're thinking that is because you know of both of them. And most people probably,
Don't,
most
yeah.
people probably don't, or even if they do, they're not thinking like that. They're thinking just like,
Yeah.
oh, here's this other thing. It costs money, so it must be better.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And then you could do both. I wouldn't stop it if it's delivering people, though. If it's delivering leads, if it's
Yeah.
delivering sales, you never stop something like that until or only if you have something that's outdoing it or doing better. And I mean, I would just leave it. If it were me, I would just business as usual, act as normal, but then I'd have this other thing. So one thing that
Got it.
yeah, one thing I was going to talk about is how I'm going to be like trimming things down but it'll be a greater thing. So going into 2024, I'll just go through it super fast, okay? Because I don't want to stay here, but I just started this way and I don't want to. So don't freak out, okay? This is like something that is not completely set in stone yet, but going into 2024, I am going to have a mastermind here that is going to be either $9.97 a month, or it's going to be, or you can pay $9.97, 10 grand a year, a grand a month, or a grand a year, or 10 grand a year. So you save 2 grand if you go the yearly route. It's maxed to 100 members. It's a 12-month program, and I'm going to have some actual in-person meetups worked into that. Okay. And I call it escape velocity. And this is the technical symbol for escape velocity, and I just thought it kind of looked cool, like a logo. But escape velocity is basically what happens when you've got enough inertia to get away from an object that you don't need to use anymore to get it back. So it's like, I think of this escape velocity mastermind, even though it sounds kind of nerdy, to me, it's like when you hit escape. Here's how you explain escape velocity. There's nothing that you could do to make Elon Musk not popular. Like, he has reached celebrity escape velocity. He cannot go back to being a normal person ever again. He can never go back to being forgotten about. He's like Joe Rogan is forever, like you can't take Michael Jackson's fame from him anymore. You can't, he's famous forever. Joe Rogan is a forever known person for anybody that's alive right now, right? Like like you can't take their fame from them. So Escape Velocity Mastermind, what this is going to be is it's going to, I want to show you how to never need money again, like where you escape the need for money at least at a comfort level. Like now, if you've got big appetites, then you're going to need you're going to need more escape velocity. But the point of this mastermind is essentially to take you to a secured 7 figures, like where you are, like if I didn't work in 2024, I'm still okay. Right? It would bite into my chunk, but essentially I could take it off. I would just have to regain momentum the next year and I'd have to do all this stuff, right? So I just want to show people that the alpha stands for like in space and all that. I like space and all that shit. So like alpha is like what they'll typically name a beginner. You know, alpha is also beginning. It's the first thing in Greek alphabet. It's like number one, you know, it's like the first voyage, the beginning. That's usually what they call like a alpha launch. It's like the first launch. So this, and I'm changing this from boot camp to launch pad. I don't know why I put boot camp there, but so it's going to be alpha digital business launch pad. It's for beginners. It's going to have the foundations, the fundamentals of what you need to get up and earning money online selling your advice. Yeah. Where's Build Lab? That's yeah. So this is where it's coming in. So this is going to be an 8-week static program. I'm going to charge, I'm going to do an early bird special for it starting in January. You guys get all of this except for this one. Okay. This one is going to, cause this one I'm working with you guys. Like I'm pretty much like these 100 members, as long as you show up and follow, because I'll be working with you very personally. That's why it's only for 100 members. Like, there shouldn't be any reason you don't get there. Because you'll be offering the type of offer you need to offer. You'll be doing the things that you need to be doing. And I'm very confident in my ability to do that. So I'll be working with these people, but you're vetted to come in here. You're, because everybody in the group has to be on the same page, So anyway, this, the alpha thing is going to be inside a Build Lab. It's going to change inside a Build Lab. I'm still going to have like that stuff in there. It's just I'm going to clean it up even more. And then this essentially will be kind of like a Build Lab replacement. In terms of like the training, it's going to be similar to what's in there, but I'm just going to clean it up, simplify it, because I just know what needs to come out of it, what needs to go into it. But yeah, so and then this price point, this $7.99, and this early bird's just an early bird. I just know that that's a good number, but the $7.99 is and then the monthly thing, it is what it is with the monthly. Like there'll be the 97 a month. And then the pocket coaching, the 27 a month, or yeah, 27 a month. That's, you guys already get that. That's already in there. So basically the two things, I'm just putting a new training inside of there that'll be able to get sold as a standalone. And then anybody that's paying, this is where I'm not completely certain on the way I want to do this. That's why I'm just telling you that this has the ability to change in a short period of time here. The way I'm going to do the monthly. So if I make any changes, it's going to be in your benefit. You're not going to lose. You're going to only gain, okay, financially or what you get. Okay. But this one here is going to be different because I want to meet once a quarter in person. There'll be a very, very set structure. You will, go this way, do this thing. And yeah. So yeah. And then I'm going to clean things up and like kind of reduce them down. This thing I'm telling you guys, this right here, this thing, I've had 4 people join today already, and I haven't even done anything. I went live yesterday. I had 6 people. That doesn't sound like a lot, but they don't like. It's just my goal for this is to get this to 1,000 members in 2024. This year, I want to sell like 500 of these, and then I want to fill up this right here. I want to
So
fill
Mike,
this.
so every time you go live, is that the only offer that you're talking about? Pocket coaching?
It's a good entry offer, and the lead, you know,
Okay.
when somebody spends, there will be, I will have free trainings.
Okay.
There will always be free trainings, always. But I'm probably going to talk mostly about the pocket coaching offer because I'm getting a lead that is willing to pull out their wallet.
Yeah.
And those leads, 10 of those leads are more powerful than 1,000 free leads. You know what I mean? Because these people are already willing to spend at least $27. They'll spend $2,000 if it's the right thing. So yeah, it's like a paid lead magnet almost. But it's also what I like about the pocket coaching is what it's done for me as well. It has gotten me in a different zone. It has gotten me to think different. I just got a pocket coaching right now. Somebody just signed up right now. So it's gotten me to think about different offers and think about different types of programs. And what it's really done is it's helped me think of different ways to create content and coach. It's very powerful. You know, it's kind of like, you know, if you do something, if you practice something every day, it's like neat, you know, what happens. You literally change and transform. So what I'm telling you is, you know, it's good to have something. I don't want to deviate from these things. I don't want to change prices on these things. And I'm going to push it like all year and do it. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. There'll be a lot of value come out of it. And yeah. So, and with Build Lab, I'm still going to have that in there. Everything's going to be there. I'm just going to trim it out, and I'll show you guys how I'm doing that as I go. But because the recurring that's there, like the 97 a month is powerful. Okay. Like I'm not changing that. This is just going to be an additionalized program inside of there. And then if it shows to be prominent, like if it shows that it's really, because it may just flop, but if it shows to be powerful, then I'll adjust accordingly. Right. You know, it's like, oh, we did some trades. I guess we have LeBron James now on our team. It's like, okay, well, business as usual. We just have this really good player. But then if they see things adjusting in a way that is like, well, it's better if we maybe have him up front, you know, or whatever. That's what you do with that. So I'll be explaining it to you, but everything that I've said so far, the most important thing to understand is this. You need to make an offer. You need to have an offer. And your goal at some point is to, depending on your goal, okay, if you're just trying to make an extra 100 grand or something, you just need a basic low key product. Meaning low ticket, easy to buy product that's $300 or more, right? Shit. You at $100 you could do it. Okay. But ideally what you're shooting for, to have a good, successful, healthy online business where you're selling your advice and making money and it's coming in consistently, you would like to have a middle to low ticket type product. So we're saying something that's like, you know, $300 to $900, somewhere in there, like 300 to 900 or something along those lines, right? 300 to 1,000, whatever. And then you would like to have something that is 3,000 or more as like a higher ticket. I would say even like 6,000. Just to understand, to sell those types of things, you either have to be an absolute ninja at creating, sales videos and things like that, or you have to get on the phone. You have to get on Zoom and you're going to have to do calls, because nobody's going to just spend $6,000 because of like a 30-minute video. Maybe, but not enough for it to be something to count on. And then you want to have some sort of recurring product, something where you're getting paid all the time. One thing that is really neat, though, is like how low ticket products work. And I never felt this way until recently, but there's been a lot of things that have changed since I got into the game in terms of like low ticket, high ticket, all that stuff. The low ticket used to be like, like just sell something for $3,000 to $5,000, because you only need, 10 sales a month to make $300,000 a month, or 300,000 a year or something, $30,000 a month. Oh, you need 10 sales at $3,000. I was like, or you could make them pay $6,000 and you just need 5. I need 1 sale a week. That was easy, right? Really, it is. If you're running ads and you have a call funnel and you get on 10 calls a week, you'll sell 3 a week. But then come along all these apps and Netflix and Hulu and all these subscription services, and all the subscriptions, right? And so people were like really okay with spending low dollar amounts and just forgetting about it. God only knows. I need to go through, and I do every year, but I'm probably drained out $1,000 a month on shit I don't even know I'm paying for. Like $97 here, $47 here, of just $30 a day probably in app crap, right? That I clear out every year. Maybe not 1,000. That's kind of a lot, but maybe at least 300, 400, 500, somewhere in there. Okay. People just get used to paying that stuff, and whether they use it or not, well, that's their problem. You're still honoring your promise, but if they're not using it, well, that's their fault. They signed up for it. If you want to keep paying it, I'm not going to stop you. So it went to low ticket. Well, then it was like, then what's the new change now is like, oh, well, now people are used to paying these low ticket items subscriptions. Now it's like, well, why don't we just charge $7 for something? And it's not a subscription. It's just $7. Well, now you're getting a different kind of lead. Now you're not getting a lead that's just like, oh yeah, I'll give you my email. You're getting a lead where they're like, oh, here's $7. And to honor something that's $7 is easy. You can create something very low key that's still going to give them way more than $7 of value. And now all of a sudden you've got people that have committed to you with money, and then going to upsell them in the back is much easier. So think about it. Before, to sell a cold lead that didn't pay money with you, to sell them something higher ticket took some effort. You had to really lay it in there. But if somebody spent $7 with you and got a lot of value from you for $7, the likelihood of them spending 500 or 1,000, they're just like, well, probably good. And it doesn't take as much convincing. And so people are now leading with, instead of going to a free thing, which still is ultimate because you're going to get enough. The thing with free is you get volume, and there's always a percentage inside of a volume that will buy. The $7 thing just requires a little bit more. And you typically, here's the next caveat to the low ticket stuff, is sometimes it attracts, people. Oh, I didn't want that. Can I get a refund? And you get little stupid crap like that. Now you've got this extra little nag on you that just is stupid. So there's everything has, if I gave you a brand new Ferrari right now that had $1 million cash bag sitting on the seat beside you, I would be giving you more problems than you have now. 100% more problems. You wouldn't know where to park. You wouldn't know what it is ridiculous. Like it's now, they're not terrible problems, but you'd have a hell of a lot more shit going on in your world that would probably cause you a problem. Okay. So it doesn't matter where you're at, what you're doing. It only matters to the degree of happiness it gives you. But I will be letting you guys know I'm going to be testing different things throughout 2024. You know, the goal in 2024 for me right now with just those products is, you know, I want to do just like 1.7 million is like my goal for 2024. You know, hope to do more than that, but that's just my goal, working from 8 to 2 each day. So, yeah, that's good. No, and I think everybody needs to lay out their offers, at least have something in place. Okay. At least have something in place that, that you can change. Right. And I would say for most people, you just need one offer. Like you need one good solid ass offer for 2024 that you're going to stick to and that you're going to work hard on and focus on and show up to every day. And you can, with one offer, one medium ticket offer, okay, $300 to $1,000. If you market every day and you work hard, you will make a very, very generous 6 figures, even get into 7 if you really went hard. With one offer, one social platform, one email list, one funnel, one focus, you will make more money than you probably either ever have or certainly when you didn't have this going. So the key though is going to be showing up consistently and making offers. If you do not make offers, you can't make money. Period. 27 a month pocket coaching, 1,500 a year Skool, good 5 to 10K one-to-one. I love that. I think that's a good mix right there. You've got your recurring, you've got your middle, and you've got your tall, and that's what you want. That's a powerful, and then keep it simple. Could I go try to make 5 or 10 million this year? Of course I could. Of course I could. I could set up a $6,000 offer. I could do calls all day long, and I would probably make anywhere from $2 to $5 million. I don't need that. I don't want to do that type of work. So, but maybe next year in 2025, I want to make 50 mil. I don't know. I'm not worried about that. I set what I set and I want to grow it and get it established in a different way. I'm working on different little dynamics, but I feel good about, where things are going in 2024 as far as a market standpoint. They already proved out that this recession thing was a little overblown. Like there's been more money being spent than ever and people are still okay afterwards. You know, I don't know who makes these fucking predictions, but like it is definitely anyway, we ain't going down that road. So all right, well look, love you. And if you have questions, let me know. Reach out. We got this. Keep it simple, please. There's nothing crazy hard or weird about this. It's digital lemonade stands. Okay. So it really is. So enjoy, have fun, keep it real. We're not, doing anything weird. Okay. Well, sort of, but all right. Bye. See ya.